to Lake Mary.
I'll have to call in some favors. Talks with Lord Telemon went well. We have audience soon, but let it be known, Hagolfar has sided for the Watch. So if nothing else, this is our safe haven.
I don't think they could get rid of you if they wanted to, sir.
No, I think that's been set in stone. He does a slight nod.
Not back. So
Almost makes you wonder if that was all planned in the first place.
it's an interesting theory, sir. Look, all right, Doran. Which brings me to my next point.
You see him as you go to speak just put a hand on his lip and look up and off into the distance. Clearly thinking about something.
Maven or Doran?
Maven.
Was everything planned from the beginning?
I'll just stay quiet.
Was it a shh motion, or was it just him, like that's just his pose, it's just finger on lip?
He's just thinking.
Copper for your thoughts, sir.
We have a non-detection spell.
It makes me wonder how wide a net did the Grey Warden cast?
Quite wide, I assure you, sir. Also because he's not the only person throwing the net.
He looks back over. Is that so?
Aye, sir.
Do you have information you need to divest?
This is the company to do it. We got back here, sir, with some assistance. Enemy of my enemy style. Look, all right, Doran, I say that.
We're in Vark de Augustine.
Correct.
And associated parties.
Yeah.
Also the parties.
And they are ticket out to Almira.
Roll an insight real quick.
Oh boy, alright, give myself Bardic on this.
I assist him? Am I able to assist him?
Yeah.
Go, take my advantage.
That shit. Divine Inspiration. Does the Divine Inspiration re-roll it, or just add another D20? It's a singular roll.
Okay, so you added the...
Well, 50-50.
Holy Christ.
Well, with the plus Divine Inspiration mod, it's better. But it's just not... Roll-wise, it's actually worse.
So that level of occultic, esoteric magic is so far outside of his realm. But with a quick look and a read of Doran's face, he puts it together.
Hmm.
He didn't need to know who, he just needed to know Doran knew who, which made the answer obvious.
Right.
Gotcha.
He doesn't know everything, he knows who would know what the answer is.
He knows who his advisors are.
And what do they want?
They wanted to talk to us.
Want
Why
to
not?
seduce us over to their side.
In exchange, they offered us a passage out when we were not trapped, but we definitely were in a tight situation.
As you bring up the concept of a bid for treason, you don't even see the slightest flinch or move from him going towards his weapon.
He knows.
Well,
Meh.
did you?
Did we what, sir?
He just gives a light chuckle. Are you working with the heir of Augustine? Are you emissary to the king, Captain Clint?
Rohan snaps his mouth shut as he directly
Directly addresses Clint.
I don't know yet, sir.
You don't know yet.
Any other answer I would have taken as a lie.
I think, sir, that we're all fighting the same war, and we're getting in each other's way. I think that Renvort Augustine can be convinced.
What?
I know, right? Oh, wait for it.
I'll deal with it. Just leave
Give it a second.
Yeah, give it a
I'll
second.
deal with it.
Tonight's a very chaotic night.
Quiet. That was a really good time. Okay.
Just like I fucking know, right, dude?
Other side. Oh yeah. I think Renvort Augustine can be convinced that his way is wrong. That there's something different that can be done. He has his faith placed in all of us, assembled here, and probably a lot of people in this villa, if not all of us. You most of all, sir. I think I'm not signing on with him specifically, but as a diplomat, liaison, emissary, whatever you want to call it, it'll take a lot of heat off of our people. And I'm sure he's going to suspect me of being a spy, just as you're suspecting me right now. And that's not to say I wouldn't tell you about his activities. And I doubt he even needs my assistance to find out about ours.
You know, if you'll indulge me for a second, perhaps I can alleviate some tension here.
Rohan looks about ready to jump across the table.
Right before we began the exhibition at the God's Eye, I noticed Jericho leave the compound. So, I quickly deduced that I needed to follow him. And my assumptions were proven true. He went back to the site of the first operation against the Street Queen.
Boggy Willow.
Just north, the staging point where his class fell.
Mhm.
In doing so, he met up with the only other surviving member.
Leona.
Down in the tunnel, there was somewhat of an effigy left to the fallen. When I ambushed them there, She had no way out. It's very likely it could have taken her out there. Ended a threat that'll only get larger over time.
But
But for some reason I knew that wasn't right. So, if we're accusing anyone of treason, I suppose I have to add my name to that list.
But we spoke to Leona, Grand Watcher. She's as loyal to Randvark de Augustine as, well, as Clint here.
funny you mentioned that. I requested the same terms as her. So whatever she's got, hopefully I'll get.
So you already spoke to him.
I did.
I figured.
And are you sure she's not playing you?
She very well might. Also, I'm changing music. This is way too happy. Where's Oriole's Ascension?
How magical and mystical. So are you betraying the watch, Clint?
Yeah, it's not betraying the watch. I'm just.
Stab him! Stab before you can think of a witchy comeback.
As much as I'm sure she can play us, sir. She definitely has her sights set on something much more grandiose. Something I would say is insane. Coming from me, of all people.
Or so she led you to believe.
If that was all... just like size... Oof. If that was all a trick, that was one of the most elaborate tricks I have ever encountered in all the lifetimes I've lived.
He nods. And would you expect anything less?
I don't think she would have expended so much effort. It would a waste.
And even then, one must wonder what she would get out of such a ruse. Even even by her own account, her plan will not come to fruition until after Alfasora.
As much as I hate to admit it, there are some times, even in the games we play now, she could best me at a young age.
Maybe this is one of those times. But you can ask Lucian, sir. We got a bit of insight on what you were showing off. Look through to us.
It very well may be. What I'm saying is don't take her lightly. Had she stayed the course, I think there's a good chance she could be up there with some of the greatest who have ever lived.
I think she still has her sights set on that, sir. Maybe not the most famous, but one of the best.
Unfortunately, infamy can be twice as dear when the situations are dire. So back to the task at hand. The rest of our watchmen, are they able to egress? Or are we staging a rescue?
They're able to egress, sir. Rendezvous with them in Almira, fly back north. Oh no. Looks at Rohan and then Bradford. I doubt I'll be joining you guys for that. But you guys got it.
You'll be going over so soon.
Shrug. No time like the present. especially when time is on their side.
I would strongly encourage you, Captain, that you see this out before you make any choice. If not for yourself or your teammates, for any type of credibility to a future plea you might make.
I appreciate the consideration, sir. Will do. We'll be abounding to go get Jericho right after. We not being people in this room, we being us and Leona. I don't know what you saw in their last reunion, sir, but there's still something there. Even after her transformation. Or so she led us to believe.
Unfortunately, we can never be quite sure.
No, we can't.
Now then. Take whatever task force you need and can muster.
Aye, sir.
We have few here. I'll see if we can shift anything your ways. But we have a lot of tasks, unfortunately, already underway.
Entirely understood, sir. Might try to make the rounds up there north, Lake Mary and Brigginsdale. It's their survival we're fighting for. They might have a vested interest in giving whatever resources they got.
He just taps his fingers. That place always seems to be the epicenter of trouble, doesn't it?
Yeah, the gaping maw on the fucking ground doesn't help its case.
Don't suppose any information from that got sorted out.
Some to a degree. We found, when we're fleeing from Regona, we went subterranean, by advice of Thurgood. We found some archaeological dig or ritual site. Not that type of ritual site, a more mundane one. Remains, or a ritual site on the remains of it. Looks at Bradford. Would we call it a dead god?
Dead god, ancient giant. I think the differentiation is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It was a humanoid skull with extended fangs. Buried under a mountain.
Or without flesh.
Currently without. Seemingly just skeleton. We didn't investigate more than surface level of its face, though.
Understandable, but that does answer a question.
Which is...
Was this body known already by the Watch?
No, but it answers the question of why does the Type 6 lay sleeping?
Something else might just be as strong and asleep.
It could be digesting.
Oh, cool. That makes sense.
Fuck.
Hell of a hibernation period. Hopefully it doesn't wake up in the next year.
It probably will. It'll probably wake up next Tuesday at this rate.
Of course. Why not?
I'll check the SecQs and archives and send any information your guys' way once I get access to it. Although, we already did have our hands in it. What'd you guys get in there, by the way? Look at Rohan and Bradford. I stepped out for now obvious reasons. You guys anything good from the place?
Go on.
Gregor is of sound mind.
How do you know that?
I scryed on him. He was sitting at a campfire with the old lion.
A camp. Brown tent in the background, roaring campfire. King Carthan sat across from him, sat upon logs. Yeah, that's the real deal. That's how he visited me in my visions of him.
Does he always have the same campfire setup?
I don't think he's coming to visit us. I think he's pulling us to visit him. Same house. Same fire.
He's visited you a few times.
Yep, and he's been mad at me once.
Huh. I was only visited by him in my youth. Only. He was never mad at me.
The last time I saw him was after the God's Eye. Captain Gregorio was there. Seems the two are working together. And sort of like rubs his neck awkwardly. I got a bit frustrated about all the cloak and dagger and time collusion happening, so I made that known to His Majesty. Reminded him that we're not all kings in the making. We're not all him.
Weak. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, you're right. We're not all like him. Bye.
Built different.
Yes, you are.
Truly maidenless behavior. Stay with me, sister.
Serena Shamash comes in. He's right.
That's how I fell into the dark side.
No, he doesn't say any of that, but Clint doesn't need to roll inside to see the Rohan disapproves of that in the corner. Or dislikes that.
Rohan disliked that.
There you go.
-7 approval. Black broken heart emoji.
I'll give him 3 cartography kits, and then he'll like me.
Back up to 100, maybe.
The most gamified. Anyways.
Is that a portrait of the Rebel Queen?
No.
Whoa!
That's awesome. I love you.
I would kill for you
Anyways.
and die.
It was a point shared by Captain Gregorio too. We're not all moving stars. Not yet, at least.
At some point, I kind of wonder if they were in the same league.
No, I don't think so.
Are
Here's
you sure?
Here's in the
He-
same field, I would say, but I don't know anything anymore for that sort of play.
He might not have conquered a star, but he certainly trapped one. Not exactly.
Look at Doran. What do you mean?
I don't believe that their gambit is yet complete.
They being the kings, or they being the fiends?
They being Captain Gregorios. Well, I should say, it is complete, we just haven't seen the ramifications of it fully yet.
Fuck.
So, when this operation is done, Bricky Casta and myself are going to complete all 3 of the rituals this year. It'll spare the people that can afford time to train in other operations.
At a game, like the rituals don't all take place at exactly the same time, right?
they don't.
Okay, just making sure.
That would take quite a bit of skill. Yes, but it's something that needs to be done. I do not need you to confirm or deny, those of you in here who have been in a ritual, but there are traces of the divine within each site, I believe. I can account for this in Chrysantine. The harmonics bear... It's unmistakable. And what we have learned is that there was, at a time, 10 cities of light. But now there are 7, and there were 3 ritual sites over ancient cities. But now there are 4 ritual sites in still 7 cities. To put it simply, the lock is set, but the key has not closed it so tightly.
So it can still be undone.
Yes, that is what I postulate. And in doing so, Lucifer could be free again. And that would bring destruction, utter and true.
What would we be free?
Lucifer,
Lucifer.
not gonna be allowed to pass.
Precisely. But do you understand what that also means?
But now all bright minds